All right, how are you doing, my inpatients? I am live, and I'm going to be doing stand-up comedy tonight for the first time in 6 months. So I'm going to practice my jokes, because believe it or not, you can't just get up there on stage and illuminate the room. You have to practice. And that's actually the topic of my first joke. It's called Illuminate the Room. So I'm going to say, hey, everyone, how are you doing? Good evening. So I thought when I first started doing stand-up comedy, since I had good stage presence, I could just get up here and illuminate the room. I thought I could just, I thought I could just come up here and wing it. But then I started doing this open mic every week, and I started doing the same jokes every week, and I realized writing jokes and doing stand-up comedy is work. You can't just come up on stage and illuminate the room. It's a lot more hard work than that, unfortunately. And so I'm back. I'm torturing myself with this stand-up comedy yet again. So how many people browse social media? I'm assuming in the year 2025, if you are on, everybody's on social media. Shirts like this, social media advertises to you things based on what you're searching for. So for example, if you're wearing a shirt like this, it will advertise to you similar shirts like this. If you like professional wrestling, it will advertise to you professional wrestling merchandise. Well, social media advertised to me a kitchen knife. I'm thinking to myself, a kitchen knife? What does it think I want to hurt somebody? What's next? Are they going to start advertising to me burlap bags, gas cans, duct tape, a shovel? Or does it think I need to get more independent? It should be advertising to me camera equipment, duct tape, not duct tape. No, it shouldn't be advertising to me duct tape. Camera equipment, little stuffed bunnies. Why is it advertising to me a knife? Some people say maybe it's because people in the Massapequa Park area, the Long Island serial killer is from here. Maybe that's what he's searching for, and the algorithm thinks people in this area, I don't know. So I was having a conversation with my mother, and she was telling me to go to a mental health group in New York City. And I said to my mother, I'm afraid of getting assaulted by a criminal. And she said, go into New York City with the attitude, I dare the criminals to assault me. I'm like, yeah, I get what you're trying to say, but if you really got assaulted by a criminal on the subway and they attacked you and bit you, it would be a really bad day. It would be traumatizing. You might have to take HIV PrEP, and you don't want to be the person who defends yourself against the criminal and winds up accidentally killing the criminal in self-defense, and they do a tremendous court case against you. So how many people have ever been on the dark web? Yeah, I want to go on the dark web. I'm obviously naive and gullible. I don't know much about the dark web. I hear it's where nefarious people do nefarious things. I want to go on to stockpile an arsenal of illegal weapons. Just kidding. I don't want to stockpile an arsenal of illegal weapons. But how do you get on it? Is there a dark web app? Do you go to the Play Store and, download the app? Like, how do you get on the dark web? I want to go on there and, talk to the Chinese government and play video games with Vladimir Putin from Russia. I want to enjoy myself on the dark web. Are there any wholesome dark web users? Are there anybody who go on the dark web just to, do good things, or is everybody who goes on the dark web nefarious? Is everybody who goes on the dark web, evil in some capacity? Yeah, I don't even know how do you even go about going on the dark web. I think people on the dark web only do bad things on there, nefarious things. So I was watching hockey with my father, and there was this young and rich hockey player, and I'm 37 years old with less than $1,000 to my name, and this young and rich hockey player has a $10 million a year contract. And my father asks me, "How does it feel knowing this hockey player is younger than you, in better shape than you, and has more money than you'll ever see in your life?" And I'm thinking to myself, that does peeve me. I'm not gonna lie. But me, I'm charismatic. Me, I'm charming. Me, I'm a good talker. I would much rather be me than the young and rich hockey player. And I was watching the hockey player during the post-game interview, and he's like, "And I got to put the puck in the net and battle level, and so." I'm like, yeah, this guy sounds like a dud. He sounds like a dumb jock. He sounds like a bore. I would much rather be me than this young and rich hockey player. So my mother can't have caffeine because she has a heart condition, and just a little bit of caffeine will literally kill my mother. So she was drinking coffee, and she took a sip, and she was like, "What? Oh no, it says OMG caffeine." She thought it said, "Oh my God, caffeine," as if there was an enormous amount of caffeine. So he says, "Retire this joke, please." All right, stop with the feedback. I'm just practicing. But it did not say OMG caffeine. It said 0 milligrams of caffeine, meaning the coffee was decaffeinated. All right. So I was browsing an internet forum full of trolls when I was in college, and I told them how I was reading The Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. And they said to me, because I was kind of like a dummy and a dumbass, they said to me, you could read The Leviathan, but you won't understand it. And now in hindsight, looking back, this person was absolutely right. I don't even know how I passed the test on The Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. I think I read it in college, but did I really understand it? No, not at all. I did not understand The Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. Also, when I was in college, I was in the path to having a mental breakdown, and I said to somebody, "Oh, I'm on the path to insanity, but I think things are going to go all right for me. I think things are going to get better." And he's like, "Don't worry, you're on the right path." I'm going to enact this. So what are you saying? Are you saying just don't do the open mic? I mean, I got to go out there and practice. People are just ripping apart my. People are ripping apart my act. I mean, people are. I mean, like. I mean, even if there's no jokes here, at least I'm getting up and doing public speaking. At the very okay. So obviously, how many of you are depressed? I'm sure if you're here tonight, you are depressed. I mean, this is a depressed group of people. And how many of you eat a lot of fast food? I know I do. I eat a lot of pizza. I eat a lot of fast food, and I've had like pizza 1,000,000 times. People are throwing tomatoes at me. And my father said to me, "Andrew, have you ever eaten at this pizza restaurant?" I wanted to scream, "Yes, I have eaten at this pizza restaurant. This is all I eat. All I eat is pizza 5 times a week." I'm sure a lot of you can relate, and a lot of you just eat pizza. So here's one that's kind of funny. I was on a dating app, and I was talking to a woman who says she was non-binary. Her pronouns were they, them. And I'm thinking to myself, is this woman a cis woman? Was she born a woman? I mean, I wanted to chat with her. She appeared to be a woman, but she said her pronouns were they, them, and she was a non-binary woman. And I wanted to ask, are you a cis woman? She's like, no, I'm not a cis woman. I'm non-binary. I'm like, am I going to get on the date and see that she has an Adam's apple and male parts? Apparently she was a woman, but she said she's like I'm like this is too confusing. I mean, are you non-binary? Like, what does non-binary mean? Somebody says don't even do. Somebody says use Google. It's a joke, Taylor. It's a joke. I'm doing comedy. Taylor says it's not funny. So are you saying just don't even try it tonight? Taylor says there's no punchline. So it says just don't do that joke. Are you saying just don't even bother doing the open mic tonight? So he says, you aren't telling jokes, you're just literally retelling things that happened to you. Taylor says, do the open mic. With these jokes? This is my act. Start by saying Happy Pride Month, then go into the pronouns joke. Somebody says, your old stand-up is way better. Are you saying just give up? Or, I mean, should I do it tonight? I was planning on doing it. I mean, Roxy says, don't give up. I mean, there are some people who are atrocious. I mean, that do it. I mean, maybe I'll just... Chiba says, do what you want, Andrew. Just don't get upset when you don't get many laughs. So he says, do these jokes and live stream it. Somebody says, you actually have old clips where you seem like a normal dude and you're getting laughs. You got to rewatch those and see what worked. Taylor says, you have lost grasp of what a joke is. All right. Yeah, try to re-understand what a joke is. Okay. So I was reading... How many of you have ever, read something in college and you have no idea, what it's about? You have no, I mean, you know what it's about roughly, but you're reading it and you're just spacing out while you're reading it. And I told somebody how I'm reading Thomas Hobbes' The Leviathan. It's this political book, and they said to me, you won't understand it. And this person was absolutely right. I did not understand The Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes. Not only did I not understand it, I don't even know how I passed the test on it. Like what I was reading might as well have been a foreign language. Has anybody ever experienced something like this? I don't think I'm a dumbass. Maybe I am. Maybe I am a dumbass, but have any of you ever read something and it might as well have been a foreign language, and you don't even know how you passed the test? Maybe it's like A, B, C, and D, and you got to circle a letter, and somehow you circle all the right letters and get a 90 on the test. I mean, I might as well have been reading Chinese. I don't know. I mean, they say Chinese, the languages are Mandarin and Cantonese. I don't know. I might as well have been reading Chinese, Yeah. And so he says, in the punchline, books can be hard to understand sometimes. Somebody says, boo, not funny. Hey, I'm trying to relearn what a joke is. What's the punchline? Well, I think ultimately I graduated college with high honors. Just kidding. I barely passed college by the skin of my teeth. But you know what? Hey, I got my degree. And I've used it for the past 15 years to do nothing. So he says that one has potential. That one has potential. Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes has potential. Okay, well, let's work this one. Let's work this one. So it says you need to be able to make fun of yourself. Okay. Says what do you think the Leviathan meant? Damn it! Damn it! Hey, Mama! Hey, Mama! Mama! Can I rehearse my comedy on you? Can I do my comedy to you? Can I perform my comedy to you? Because I really need to practice these jigs. Yeah, it's fine. They're not too much to eat because I'm getting fat, and I'll have a burger and a salad, I guess. I guess turkey burger. Okay. Okay. I gotta really work on my jokes here. So let's try to work up the depressed pizza. So how many of you are depressed? I mean, I'm looking at the audience. All of you look depressed, myself included. You know, I mean, and how many of you, when you're in a depressive funk, involuntarily celibate, no ladies, you just eat the same boring shit over and over again, like your mother's bland cooking? One thing I eat over and over and over and over again is pizza. And I know some people who come from the South, they come up to New York and they're like, oh, pizza! I've never had pizza before. I'm like, yeah, New York pizza's okay. But if your diet is entirely pizza, you get sick of it. I know my father's like, oh, they opened up this pizza restaurant right by your house. Have you ever eaten here before? And I wanted to say to my father, yes, I've eaten here 1,000,000 times. I know it's only 6 months old, but that's all I eat. My diet is almost entirely pizza. And the pizza is almost bland and depressing, you know? Or maybe I'm just so sick of it. So he says, are we supposed to laugh? I don't know, Taylor. So he says, your diet is horrible because you're lazy, and the laziness is in your joke writing. La 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 la. So let's try to pump up the liberal, like the pronouns. So how many of you want to date a woman? I mean, if you're male, I mean, I guess there could be some homosexuals in the house, but I'm assuming most of you men want to date ladies, right? Fair assumption, correct? I mean, how many of you are transphobic? I'm not, but I don't want to date a trans woman. I mean, because, trans women are not ladies, in my opinion. I don't consider myself transphobic, but I don't consider them. So I was on a dating app, and there was this woman who said she was non-binary, and um, I wanted to ask this woman, "Are you a cis woman? Were you born a woman?" She said her pronouns were they them. I'm like, I'm interested in you. You look cute. I think she was a liberal, and she was like an artsy person, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, are you a woman? I mean, am I going to get on the date and discover you have an Adam's apple and male parts? I mean, I wanted to converse further, but she was saying, no, I'm non-binary. I'm they them. I'm like, does that mean you're a woman? And she wouldn't elaborate. So as a result, I just unmatched with her. I mean, I don't want to get on. I think she was a woman though. I think she was born a woman. She was cute. She was just too politically correct for me. So I unmatched with her. I don't think that's if she can't tell me what a woman is, then frankly, I don't want to date her. Because you might get on the date, you might. Okay. Somebody says, open the set with this. Okay. So how many of you go into New York City? Uh, during and after COVID, it had a lot of a crime increase. And I got a little scared of New York City, a little frightened. I mean, everybody gets a little frightened at times, myself included. And I told my mother, because I was going to a mental health group in New York City, I don't want to go into New York City anymore because I'm afraid of getting assaulted by a criminal. And she says, go in there with the attitude, I dare the criminals to assault me. And I get what my mother was trying to say. She was saying, love is out there, go out there with courage, and go out there and try to live life and have fun. And you might find, and most of the time when you go out there, you have a nice day. But let's say what my mother said actually came to fruition. A criminal actually assaulted you on the subway. It would be a really bad day. You would probably start to cry. And let's say you defended yourself against this criminal who was assaulting you and you accidentally killed the criminal. You don't want to be like one of these news stories, oh man, accidentally kills criminal on the subway, and they scapegoat you and they make you the poster child of a nefarious criminal, and they try to crucify you. You don't want to be that person. I know most of the time when I go into New York City, I have a nice time. But Mom, when you say I dare the criminals to assault me, no, you really want to be left alone. Which is why I carry my pepper spray with me. So if the criminals come up to me, I can spray them and run like a chick. That's the only self-defense I know. Pepper spray and run. Let's go back to the dark web. How many of you have any idea what the dark web is or how to get on the dark web? I know I don't have a blessed clue how to get on the dark web. I have no idea how. What do you download the dark web app? Or do you go to the Play Store and download the app? Somebody's like, no, you don't go on the dark web app. The dark web app, it doesn't exist. It's where nefarious people do nefarious things. I want to go on the dark web to stockpile an arsenal of illegal weapons. Just kidding. No, I don't want to do that. That would probably get me on some watch list if I'm not on one already. What I want to do on the dark web is I want to just go on there and see what it's about and see what it's like. I want to play video games with members of the Chinese government and Vladimir Putin from Russia. I just want to learn more and experience more about the dark web. Taylor says this one's not good. Axe this one. Ixnay on this one. I'm probably... Giant Big Letter says that's not a joke. Okay. So, okay, let's rework this. So it's just the scapegoat part is good. Yeah. They'll scapegoat you for. I don't want to get in. I don't want to. I don't want to make the person that I accidentally. Yeah. Okay. So I got some jokes in the can. I got some jokes in the can here. Okay. So I'll do Thomas Hobbes the Leviathan. Depressed pizza. Pronouns, they, them. Somebody says, you've been sharing the OMG caffeine for years now and it's still not funny. Somebody says, not sure why you still have that one in the can, but axe that one. Okay. Should I call my father up and do these jokes to my father? He says yes. He says not if you're going to be mean to him, though. So he says, do a shirtless cover of the Beach Boys. Get into your underpants and start singing Pet Sounds. So I got my new linen jeans, which are a little tight on me. I should have got 33.30, not 32.30. But how do you think they look? At the very least, I got a cool outfit for open mic tonight. You think they look kind of cool? And I'm going to put on the Doc Martens. At least my outfit looks good. So this is, you got on Bruce Springsteen jeans. So this is, you got mad feminine energy. He says, looks good. So he says, you look amazing. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you. So let's do the Thomas Hobbes one again. So how many of you have ever gone to college? I'm assuming some people here may have. Raise your hand if you have. And if you have, how many of you have ever read something and you had no idea what it was about and you don't even know how you passed the exam on this? One example of this is I read The Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes for a political class. And I don't think I'm a dumbass. Maybe I am. I don't really read. But I read The Leviathan. It might as well have been another language. It might as well have been Chinese. You know, somebody's like, Chinese? The language in Chinese is Mandarin and Cantonese. It's not. Okay. It might as well have been in a foreign language. That's how much all this I didn't understand. And when I got to the test, it was bubble letters, Scantron, A through D. I just circled random letters. Somehow I passed the test. But I don't know how. Somehow I got through college. somehow I graduated college, but I have there's a lot of examples of things in college that I read. I just no idea what I was reading, and I just somehow passed the test. So how many of you are depressed? I'm assuming, I'm looking at the audience, myself included, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're all depressed, but I'm pretty depressed. I'm single, I've been involuntarily celibate for years, and, my mom cooks bland dinners over and over again, but something I eat so often is pizza. I know if you're from the South and you come up north, you're like, oh, pizza! New York pizza! No, trust me, pizza makes me want to vomit like this. I eat it 5 times a week. So, I was riding in the car with my father, and there was a pizza restaurant that opened by my house about 6 months ago. And my father asked me, have you ever eaten at this pizza restaurant? And here's what I wanted to say to my father. It's all I've eaten for the past, 6 months. Pizza 5 times a week. And they say, Andrew, whose fault is that? If you don't want to eat pizza over and over again, go to the supermarket, get some groceries. Fair enough, but, So how many of you are men? I'm assuming most of the audience here is. I'm looking at the audience. It's a sausage fest in here. We don't got many ladies. And how many of you like to date women? I'm assuming most of you are heterosexual like me. And if you're not, that's okay. I don't have anything against homosexuals. But how many of you want to date a cis woman? Somebody who was born a woman? I know I do. I was on a dating app and I was chatting with a woman and she said she was non-binary. And I'm like, what does non-binary mean? I'm like, she said her pronouns were they, them. I'm like, so were you born a woman? Are you a woman? She looked cute. She looked attractive. I think she's just liberal and artsy and crazy. And I'm like, can you just say you're a cis woman? Can you just say you're biologically a woman? Because that's what it appears like you are. She says, no, I'm non-binary. I'm they, them. I'm like, am I going to get on the date and discover you have an Adam's apple and male genitalia? So I'm like, you know what? I can't deal with this. I'm going to unmatch with her. If she can't even tell me what a woman is, if she can't even tell me she's a woman, I have nothing against transgender people. I'm not a transphobe, but I don't want to date a man. Is it too much to ask for? To say I'm a woman. She can't even tell me she's a woman. She says she's non-binary and they, them. Okay. So those are my main jokes today. Somebody says Sausage Fest was good. When's open mic? It's this evening. Let's check out the time. I think it's this evening. New times. 7:30 to 9:30. Well, that's late. Doors open at 6:30. Okay. I'm gonna rock and roll tonight. I'm gonna rock and roll tonight. So he says, "Oh man, that's bedtime for you." Yeah, that's why I had some coffee. I'm trying to get myself all hopped up on caffeine, get myself all manic for the performance tonight. Oh, no. Let me call my father and practice these jokes on me padre. Oh, my mother's calling. Mi madre. Hey, Mama. If you come over here and can I practice it in front of you, I'd like to see your reaction. Yeah, just come next door and just I have a place for you to sit. Bye. Okay, I'm going to practice these jokes on mi madre. Mi madre. I am light. I am light. I am in the sunlight. I am in the sunlight. Do you think this shirt looks good, or should I get another shirt? Okay, don't say anything too crazy because I'm going to record this. You don't have to say anything at all. Just take a seat in here. You'll be off camera. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, take a seat right there. I'm going to practice. I'm going to practice this.
Where's the camera?
We're right here. Don't say anything too
I'm not
crazy.
gonna say anything.
Don't say anything. Don't talk about your plan for world domination or anything like that. So I'm going to start off with Thomas Hobbes, the Leviathan. I'm gonna ask. So how many? I don't know why you make me anxious.
Sorry.
You know, I know it's okay. It's okay. So I'm gonna say. So how many of you have ever, how many of you have gone to college? I'm assuming most of you have gone to college since you're here tonight. And how many of you have ever read something that you have no idea how you passed the exam? I don't think I'm a dumbass. I don't think I'm stupid. But, I read The Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes for a political class. And I have no idea how I passed the exam. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know why you, Dad and Dale, make me so anxious when I do this comedy.
So maybe just do it without us, and then you send it to me, and I look at it. Don't push your hair up.
No, I know.
It's not attractive. You're good looking. Don't stick your hair up.
Yeah, I don't know why it's.
So then do it, and then send it to me, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
If this is making you nervous. I don't want to make you nervous.
Yeah.
Sometimes somebody watching you makes you nervous. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I like if I'm doing it with friends for some reason I'm comfortable. When I do it with you, when I do it to you, Dad and Dale, it's just.
It's not the same.
No, it's I can't even.
We're not you the same. Well, we're old people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why don't you do it, tape it, and then send it to me, and I'll tell you. Practice it.
I gotta find some like a woman or a friend who are into comedy who I can rehearse this with.
But Andrew, these groups is this?
Yeah, it's recording. But
these groups and things like that you're getting out and going to. You'll meet people that like this kind of thing.
Yeah, I really got to find people who I can practice this with. And I know you got to do a lot of it on your.
Can you go online and look up like things like comedy groups, not support groups, but like I don't know, like.
Yeah, I mean tonight.
Sometimes the library has groups like that.
Like tonight the open mic's a great place to meet people who are into comedy,
Yeah.
But a lot of people are saying my jokes. Let me try this again.
Your jokes are what? What are they saying?
Not funny. Yeah, I've lost. I mean, they said my jokes when I did the comedy college in Levittown. They were funny years ago, but I've lost the ability. It's like I don't understand what a joke is anymore.
No, that's not true. It takes practice, and it takes
practice.
Look at the guy Nate Bargatze. Look at his. He doesn't even really tell a joke. He tells a story about what happened to him. Like he says, he goes, I was in the parking lot and I took off my shirt, and somebody was calling me, Madam, Madam. Like, he's just telling like a story,
Right.
and it's funny because it's the way he does it.
Right.
So you got to get your shtick. You know what your shtick is, how you tell your joke, and then see how the audience likes it. Take some practice, Andrew. Sometimes it's not immediately that the audience will respond. When you laughed at yourself, I found. When you laughed at yourself, like you're like, ha ha ha, everybody was into that.
Yeah, no, I know they say if you're having fun, the audience is having fun.
Have fun with
so
it.
Go out
you're
there,
stressed.
Go out there and don't be stressed. Go out there
just
and laugh.
And laugh at yourself. That makes the audience laugh.
Be calm and stressed. So okay.
So like, have you ever, and the teacher's looking at you and like that, like just be yourself. You are funny, naturally funny. Don't try too hard.
Yeah.
And laugh. If you're getting stressed, laugh, because that makes other people laugh. And when you see them laughing,
smile and laugh.
But be real like that. That's a real smile. That's it. Yeah. And like like stuff like that. Yeah. That makes. I noticed from watching America's Got Talent, like the comedians that come on, they do stupid, and they're like, and can you believe it, like that, like get those little things, and if you start laughing like hysterical at your joke, it just makes people. It's contagious. It's contagious. But if you act anxious,
you basically don't be anxious. Go out there and have a good time.
Have fun. Even if you bomb, have fun, and that will make the audience have fun.
Right. Okay. So let's try this again. Okay, I'll try to smile.
If I'm making you nervous, then do it and send it on.
Okay, so how many of you have ever read a book or something for college that you have no idea? Like you don't even know how you pass the test, Like, for example, I read Thomas Hobbes' The Leviathan for a college class. I have no idea how. I don't think I'm a dumbass, but I have no idea how I even passed. You're making me a little nervous.
Can I just say,
like,
I was in the class, I think, but I mean, maybe I slept through it. I had no idea how add little stupid things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go.
It's okay.
Practice it.
I'll practice.
And then add stupid things like that.
Yeah.
Was I sleeping? I don't know. Okay.
All right. Thank you. I mean, I gotta find some friends to practice this on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
because younger people can give you even better tips than I could give you. But watch the guy Nick Barkasey. He's not even really that funny, but it's his gimmick of just being like telling a story like a regular guy. Like, I don't know how that happened.
Right, thank you for at least.
And he laughs at himself.
Right.
So do that.
Okay. Yeah, somebody says your mom's a sweetheart. But this was just this. Yeah, she I can't practice comedy on her. Yeah.
His name is Nate Barkasey, and he goes. There's one thing I remember he does. He goes to the airport. He goes, I think I was born Nathan, but people call me Nate. And then sometimes people call him Nathaniel. I go to the airport. They say, "What's your name?" And I'm not sure. I have 3 people.
Yes, something like that. Okay. All right. Mi madre. Yes, I gotta find friends. Pizza Pasta says, your mother's annoying as fuck. I get why you don't like. No, I like my mother. I like my mother. She says, go to a comedy class. That's a good idea. Maybe I could do another comedy class. All right, guys. Well, I got some jokes. I'm going to try it tonight. I'm doing open mic tonight. Night Frog says, you are not a comedian. You are the opposite of a comedian. You are like, all right. Okay, so you don't think I'm a comedian? I'm like the opposite. So he says, why not go up there and try dancing? Okay, fair enough. He says, you have the body for dancing. Get into dancing. All right, guys. Peace out. I'll be back later.